Hey everyone, Direfon here. Uh, this is the release of 0.81 of Apacies. So, a little rundown about what all is in this release. As always, got my little note of what all happened, just to remind myself, because it's been a long 2 months. But, to start things off with, if we go down to Aho, we see that there are new buildings. I got a bunch of them commissioned, as you might have seen before. So, they are just replacing the current buildings right now. It did take a little bit to get the doors aligned and everything. But new buildings makes everything look a little bit more polished and more connected and cohesive. You can really see the difference when you look at this old entrance to a mine. Speaking of, I have been working a little bit on how the mine looks. I'm still trying to figure things out. But using the pixel pack that I had, this is one of the options that I might go with. I'm still testing that out. That's more for next update, but just a little peek towards that. There is a limit on how many Apacies you can have in a battle. So, say for instance I had more than 3 of these guys chasing after me, it would take 3 of those creatures before... it wouldn't take all of them. There was a bug for every version before this where every Apacies that was within a certain range would be joining the battle, which if you had 1, it would be 1 versus like 15. So now it's at least limited to 3. Along with that, we have a new background here. Looks like I need to realign it just a little bit. But I commissioned some work again. So in the background, it's more of an Arizona desert. I like the colors, but I don't think I'll end up going with this final design because this is more of a northeastern Arizona location. Monument Valley is way up north, while most of the game is going to be happening in southern Arizona. Aside from that, this little road here is more of a remnant of hopefully next update where I have some bait and traps. I've been working a little bit there, but they're not quite right yet, so I wasn't able to add them onto this list. With this update, we have finally reached basically halfway point when it came to Apacies. We have 49 and 49 natures, so a little bit of a celebration, yay! And for that, I'm scrapping the idea that specific lines have to have specific natures. After playing so much PTU, which is on the same channel, I really feel like having so many different natures adds to the variance of Pokemon and their own individual personalities, so if I tried to take that away or limit it, I feel like it would be off. Plus, there's supposed to be more personalities rather than something associated with an entire species. So I want to keep it that way. So, 49 Apacies reached and 49 different natures. Speaking of, there are some of the newer Apacies design which are included in the game. A lot of them Myriad evolutions, so we should be able to see those soon once I figure out how I'm going to level up Myriad. I don't want to have type stones. I don't feel like that's necessary, and if I'm going with roguelite evolution, I might combine it with like natures or progress through specific things, like what tasks Myriad has completed, stuff like that. And a lot of this update is just adding to towns and putting a little more effort into some of these routes. I'll try and skip ahead to one of those routes as soon as I can. So here's a little taste of some of the decorations. It's mostly just trees that I added in, just to flavor things up a little bit. So eventually we'll have more to come, but just for right now, yeah, it's a nice little thing to add it on. Just having something in this field of green is going to add a little bit much to be able to have an idea of where you are instead of just having so much green. Here, I'll block a little bit that I see. Instead of being so bland and boring, I want to be able to fill this out just a little bit more. But the trees are a good addition, and I think I'll keep them. As of right now, some of these don't have colliders, especially the smaller ones like that. I didn't feel the need to go in and have colliders for some of those. Small additions. So when it comes to the Next update, which is definitely going to be the more feature heavy, these point ones are usually more art intensive. I still want to finish up the road-like leveling, so again, like Myriad for instance, you'll have different paths that you can take, different options for who to evolve it into, along with what stats you want to give it, what moves you want to give it, which won't be every few levels, kind of like Pokemon. You can spend however many points whenever you want to get 3 different lists of moves. I want the placeable bait and traps. That way, when looking in the overworld for Apacies, you don't have to go scouring for a specific one necessarily. I just had an idea where maybe the trap could have like a silhouette of the creature above it if you happen to catch it. So I'll start looking into that, maybe that'd be pretty fun. NPC movement, I still want trainers and leaders to be able to move around and chase you. I don't want it to be instant eye contact and you have to fight. I want you to be able to run away if you really want to. I want to finish up Tucson, which is the big mecca, the only major city that I'm missing in the map, and then some route offshoots for some of the larger routes. So you can find hidden places within the world that aren't going to be connected through story, but they should give you some sort of benefit. So I hope I see you around next week. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a good night.